Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So if you've been around here for a while, you know I love me a good personality quiz. And then also, because of my passion for sex education and talking about all things sex and relationships, I love it even more when these personality quizzes are sex related. And so that is what we are going to do today. Everybody strap yourselves in. I'm going to be doing the Erotic Blueprint quiz by Miss Jaya, who is a somatic sexologist and author. So the Erotic Blueprint is an arousal map to your primary sexual style. So this is all about what kinds of pleasure that you enjoy, what your turn-ons and turn-offs are, and what can help you to reach orgasm. Obviously, I'm very excited to dive into this quiz and find out what my erotic blueprint is. But first off, I want to do a massive shout out to Cheeks, who are sponsoring this video. I have worked with Cheeks before and I absolutely love their platform. Cheeks is a subscription-based sexual wellness platform and every member gets access to authentic adult films and tutorials, erotic audio stories, expert-led workshops on sexual wellness, and a taboo-breaking magazine. And you can pay monthly or yearly. I absolutely love Cheeks. I've worked with them a bunch, and you know, it's just great having access to a platform that has adult films and erotica where you know that the performers and the cast and the crew and everybody is being paid fairly and treated fairly. They have a huge focus on inclusivity and diversity where you're seeing authentic desire and all sorts of different sexual orientations and desire and types of sex. I absolutely love their films. They are stunningly made and I can always find something for the mood, for the moment. And then they also have so many great erotic audio stories if you want some of that hands-free action. And in their Learn section, they have this really great magazine full of so many interesting articles about the world and the industry of sex and relationships and porn. Cheeks is £14.90 per month or £9.90 per month with an annual subscription. There is no minimum term and you can cancel any time. Of course though, I have a code for you. So with my code, you can get access to Cheeks for free for 7 days when you select annual subscription as a new customer. And if you feel like it's not for you, you can always cancel during your free trial or switch to the monthly option. Use the code Hannah07 or click the link in the description to get access to your 7-day free trial to Cheeks. Thanks so much to Cheeks for sponsoring this video, and now on to finding out what my erotic blueprint is. So here we are, Erotic Blueprint as seen on Netflix's Sex, Love and Goop. There are 5 erotic blueprint types. We've got energetic, we've got sensual, we've got sexual, kinky and shapeshifter. I imagine shapeshifter is like a mixture of the other 4. Which one are you? Sex can be confusing, pleasure elusive, and passion often fades. But when you master the skills of the erotic blueprints, you'll discover exactly what turns you on so you can ask for what you want and get it, understand your sexual superpowers so you can experience orgasmic satisfaction, get insights on how to put an end to sexual incompatibility. Can we put an end to that? I feel like it's slightly inevitable, but there's always going to be some incompatibility and that's what makes us all unique. Confidently please any lover, no matter their blueprint type. Oh my God, is this like love languages, but for sex? Sounds good, right? Start your journey to the erotic mastery. Okay, we're doing it. Take the quiz. For your sake, I'm going to pay this $17 and take the full quiz. Okay, I am in. Erotic Blueprint Breakthrough, the in-depth quiz. I'm most turned on when I have plenty of time to indulge, feel comfortable and relax. I'm experiencing extreme variety from an intense sensation, a tease of a kiss, deep emotional connection, to pure, simple sexual pleasure. What? That's so many things. I don't know. I think. So either time and relax or variety. Can I say neither? Because I think it's not those two. I think it might be something else. Okay, oh, here we go, more options. I'm most turned on when a lover's lips hover close to mine. I'm turned on by the anticipation and the longing as I yearn to be kissed. That sounds more familiar. I'm watching sex and seeing naked turned on bodies. Both of these I relate to. Okay, I'm most turned on when I'm doing something I consider edgy, naughty, or taboo. I'm immersed in a beautiful environment with amazing fragrances, music, and sensual artistry. The top one, probably. I'm most turned on when I feel connected to the sacredness and spirituality of union with something greater than myself. I do not relate to that at all. Sex is simple, easy, and down to business. Sometimes sometimes that one. I'm most turned on when I'm playing a game of surrender to or in total control of a partner. So a bit of a power dynamic going on. Eye gazing or breathing with a partner and our hearts feel open and connected like we are one together. Neither. I'm most turned on when it's romantic, I'm being wooed, or I'm wooing someone and I feel special. We just go for it. Direct genital touch is happening with certainty and we are heading to penetration. Bit of both. Bit of both. All of these questions so far are kind of interesting to me because I can really pinpoint the ones that I really don't relate to. And then the ones that I do relate to, it's like, well, in some contexts, or like, I need this thing and this thing. Like, it's not just this one thing on its own because I need like a bit of everything. And also it's just context dependent because everything in sex is context dependent. But we carry on. I'm most turned on when handcuffs, ropes, blindfolds, or other edgy play toys are being used. Climax is guaranteed, either on my own or when we reach it together. That's interesting. Like, does the knowledge that you're going to come at the end of it turn you on in the process? No, neither. I'm most turned on when, being teased for a long time, I get the space to yearn for sexual connection. Do relate to that. So the anticipation is clearly a theme for me, I think. There is touch all over my body and my insatiable appetite for creative erotic play is being fed, and we're pushing the edges of how much pleasure I can stand. It's pretty impossible to find my limits. I think it would be possible to find my limits, but that also does sound fun. So both again for this one. I'm most turned on when sex feels never ending and many waves of change, creativity and intensity. No, that sounds exhausting to me right now. It's clear who is leading and who is submitting, who is in what role during a hot interaction. I love clear power dynamics. I think neither. Like, sometimes it's a weird one for me because I do sometimes like power dynamics, but I wouldn't say it's like a massive feature or like a necessity for me. I'm most turned on when a lover's body is pressing against me and we're melting into each other. There is no space between us. I do like that. Many hands all over my body, overwhelming in a good way. I don't know if I'd find that overwhelming in a good way. So the first one, definitely. When it comes to sexual interaction, I mostly crave the experience of transcendence, ecstasy, and full-bodied awakening. Movie scene romantic love, experiencing epic love affairs like Romeo and Juliet, or dramatic scenes of love being fulfilled. Think swans and swelling music as lovers embrace. Neither. When it comes to sexual interaction, I mostly crave full presence to the moment, my partner being fully present to my body, heart, and soul. Yes, being acknowledged, appreciated, and accepted for my high sex drive, desires, and need for sex. What about being acknowledged and appreciated and accepted for your low or medium sex drive and everything else? But in general, I would say both. When it comes to sexual interaction, I mostly crave amazing touch, massage, and deep pleasure in my entire body. That sounds good right now. Total acceptance for what I think are my out-of-the-box sexual desires. See, I don't have many out-of-the-box sexual desires, but that first one definitely. When it comes to sexual interaction, I mostly crave endless, timeless, erotic sensations when I am fed in all ways, when my hunger is seen as a superpower instead of as overwhelming or too much. Scratching, slapping, squeezing, or holding/being held down. Neither. When it comes to my sexuality, I struggle most with, okay, interesting turn of questions, getting caught up in my head, thinking too much, or having performance anxiety. Relatable. Feeling shame or hiding my sexual desires that feel super naughty. The top one. When it comes to my sexuality, I struggle most with getting the amount of sexual intercourse and climaxes I want, experiencing pleasure during a lot of physical sensation, and speaking up when things aren't feeling right or I'm going numb. So probably the second one. The first one definitely used to be a thing for me, but really isn't anymore. When it comes to my sexuality, I struggle most with my lover/lovers being too nice in the bedroom. I want to be taken, I want to play naughty, but fear being judged. I'm always the one shifting in order to please my partner. It seems like I don't know how to get my needs met. Maybe a bit of the top one. When it comes to my sexuality, I struggle most with, I'm bored, I need more variety, and things feel pretty stale or mediocre. I get close to orgasm and a thought comes in to disturb me, the things that need to be done, am I doing it right, my partner isn't doing it right, etc. Definitely had a mixture of a lot of both of these in the past, but I would say not so much anymore. Neither. When it comes to my sexuality, I struggle most with being rejected when it comes to my need for sexual intercourse and my turn on. A lack of presence, sacredness, and understanding that sex is more than just a physical act. Probably the top one. We are done. We did the quiz. What is your primary erotic blueprint type? You are sexual. Does that mean just like the bland one? Like not sensual, not kinky, none of it. You're just sexual, not kinky sexual. Okay, so I have my erotic blueprint report. The sexual type. Your quiz results. So I came out as 31.25% sexual, 6.25 shapeshifter, 12.5 kinky, 25% sensual, and 25% energetic. Interesting. Let's find out what these mean. There is a pie chart of my pleasure profile, and if you know me, you know I love a good pie chart. Oh, I have sexual superpowers. Let's dive in. Sexuals have a high drive and are turned on by nudity, orgasms, and sexual interactions that are simple and to the point. I do relate to that. It's just like, is it about sex? Okay, I'm interested. You have superpowers that other types may wish that they had. For instance, your desire and zest and your simple ways of getting turned on. Oh, I'm being called simple. I'm basic in my sexuality is what I feel like I'm being told here. Maybe this is why I love Cheeks and the adult films so much, because I'm just like, visual pornography stimuli. Yes, get in my eyeballs. Let's face it, you're pretty straightforward. You like what you like. If you're just now discovering that you're a sexual, you may not have developed these superpowers yet. Oh, okay, so I've got some work to do. It's not a necessity, but you're here reading this, so we know you're probably excited to reach your full orgasmic potential. Am I? We share these superpowers as a way of showing what's possible for you. If you aren't experiencing these heightened states of otherworldly bliss, that absolutely does not mean there is anything wrong with you. Thank you for clarifying that, because I was feeling a lot of pressure there. Okay, this is just to demonstrate your potential as a sexual type and to normalize your amazing sexual turn on. Okay, my sexual superpowers are your love of sex, orgasms, and genitals, all things sexual really, and being able to indulge in them makes everything in life feel just right. Great. You are fun to play with because you can have so much joy and unashamed pleasure in bed. Yay! You can go from 0 to 60 very quickly. You are easy to arouse and usually eager to get going. You appreciate naked bodies and sexual visuals. So I would say I can go from 0 to 60 very quickly mentally, physiologically. Different story. You are part of the cultural norm of sexuality. When we think of sex, we think of the sexual type. Interesting. Now I'm having a crisis of, if this is the normative type, like the dominant one that we like see in our media and culture, is this the type that I actually am, or is this just what I have been like morphed into by society? And this is where the existential crises come in when I take a personality test. You really enjoy getting to the orgasm and climax of sexual play. I do. As much as I like to preach about how orgasm isn't the be-all and end-all of sex, I do like it. When you are in your fully awakened superpowers, you can reach climax simply. Yes. When you want to relax, sex is a way for you to unwind and feel at ease. It can greatly relieve tension. Yes, I would say that is quite accurate to me. I do feel like I'm being told that I'm very basic and not very sophisticated in my sexuality, but that's fine. I'll take it. Oh, the shadows of sexual. Okay, so this is like the other side. This is kind of Jungian, isn't it? Like the shadow self. Think of the shadows of your blueprint type as the things that can cause your arousal to take a nosedive. So these are the things that as a sexual type would turn me off. You may get too focused on the end goal, climax, orgasm, penetration, and therefore miss the journey. Yes. You may feel upset if an orgasm, engorgement, lubrication, and other turn on doesn't happen for everyone involved, and therefore you feel like you failed. Fine. Yes. Sometimes you can be self-focused and clueless to what your lover needs, or you find their needs to be complicated. No, I'm a good lover. Don't say mean things about me. Genitals and other erogenous zones become the focus of sex, and you may forget about the rest of the body or some of the more esoteric aspects of sexuality. Yeah, I guess I just fall into the trap of all of the things that I like as a sex educator say, like, you shouldn't do or shouldn't like hone in on. And I'm like, message, please get through to Hannah. I'm just projecting when I'm like, there is more to sex than penetration and genitals. Hannah, most sexuals have a limited definition of what sex is. It's genital focused and penetrative, like cock in a pussy or genitals in a mouth. But what's wrong with that sometimes, all right? All right. You may be prone to watching a lot of erotica/porn, which can sometimes interfere with your performance in bed or connections with others. It is possible, but not for me. I would say that the way that I indulge myself in the art form of erotica and pornography, it kind of like adds to my sexual experience and my sexuality. Shame can sometimes emerge for you, halting true ownership of who you are as a sexual, especially if you identify or were socialized as female. I don't know. Maybe not in the way that this is expecting me to, because it's like if you're raised as a woman or identify as a woman, then you have that shame around like not owning your sexuality and like not feeling like you can be direct and straightforward with it. I've never felt like I've had an issue there, but the shame kind of like comes the other way with being like a sex positive feminist, and it being like, I've been saying like the focus shouldn't be on penetration, but I'm like, oh, but what if I want it to be sometimes, you know? That's where I think my shame comes in. So it kind of is a double-edged sword. Rejection is hard for you, so you'll sometimes shut down your desire instead of owning it proudly. No, I don't shut it down. I just sometimes get into a dynamic that I don't want to be in, where I feel like I'm like, but I want sex. If there isn't enough frequency of sex, you can feel like the rest of life just isn't as amazing as it could be. Sex makes everything better. Oh my God, yes, I used to be like this, definitely, until we started trying to conceive, and then I got pregnant, and then like frequency of sex became this whole other thing and had a whole other meaning to me. And now I'm at a point like postpartum where frequency of sex, irrelevant. Like, honestly couldn't care less. But if you'd asked me like 4 years ago, it was so important to me and was something that like I definitely felt myself get really worked up about. That's interesting. Okay, then there's a list of a variety of ways to feed my sexual. So looking at nudity, being naked, self-pleasure, direct nipple stimulation. Oh, not at the moment. With that breastfeeding, like it feels so weird, so weird. Chest massage, deep kissing, direct genital touch, kissing combined with genital touch, oral sex, anal sex, penetration, climax, being accepted and appreciated for your desire, ravishing or being ravished, quickies, visual or written erotica, use of sex toys, vibrators, self-pleasure sleeves, dildos, etc. Yeah, this all does sound very familiar when it comes to my vibe of sexuality. It is pretty straightforward. I'm really curious now to see what the descriptions are for the other blueprints, the other types, so like sensual and energetic, especially those two, because I scored quite highly in those as well. But maybe that'll have to be for another video where we actually like look into them all and explore them in the way that I did with that love languages video many, many years ago, especially because I'd done this quiz and come out as like the normative sexual blueprint type. And so it'll be interesting to see what like the others are as well, because they might be ones that people are like, oh wait, that's me. I thought there was something wrong with the way that I got turned on. So that's cool. And then also this report that it's given me has given me blueprint compatibility. So obviously now I have to find out what Dan's type is and then see how our types connect, what our compatibility is like. So one of the things that Miss Jaya, the creator of the Erotic Blueprints, has said is that she created it because her and her partner were having real trouble having sex and connecting because there was a miscommunication there of how they initiated sex and like what their turn-ons were. So it's kind of like in the same way that I've spoken about love languages before, it's not that you have to change your love language to be compatible with somebody else, you just have to understand the language that they're speaking. So what's their erotic blueprint, what are the things that turn them on? And so then there's that more understanding there of being able to understand what their cues are. So like maybe you're completely missing their cues of initiating sex because that's not how you register sexual initiation, or maybe the way that they usually initiate sex is a complete turn off to you, and so understanding that about your partner can be really, really helpful. So yeah, I'm definitely curious to see what my partner's answers to this quiz are and see if there's any things that we can learn about each other that way. And also any time that me and my partner have dived into things like this, even though we've been together years, like we always learn something new about each other that we can add to our understanding of our sexualities as individuals and also together. Thank you so much for watching. If you have done this quiz, or if you have any idea of what your erotic blueprint might be, please let me know in the comments. And of course, thank you to Cheeks for sponsoring this video. You can check out the link to them in the description, and don't forget to use my code Hannah07 to get your 7 days free trial when you pick annual subscription, and you can cancel anytime. I hope that you're all doing well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.